In the third year of her marriage to Chu Heng, Hee-won heard that his first love had returned to the country. She sensibly drafted a divorce agreement, signed it, and handed it to him. Chu Heng, let's get a divorce. He took the papers with trembling hands, looking utterly broken, then tore them to shreds. No divorce, why divorce? What is it that I lack compared to him? Hee-won was confused. Who was he? 3 years ago, the Hee family's financial chain snapped, and her childhood sweetheart and fiancé, Chen Yi, was forced by his family to break off the engagement. Chu Heng stepped in to help the Hee family. The day before their engagement, he told her plainly, Miss Hee, I have someone I like, but my grandmother keeps pressuring me. I hope we can cooperate happily. They agreed on a 3-year contract marriage, with the explicit understanding that they would not interfere in each other's private lives. After the wedding, they slept in separate rooms and never consummated the marriage. He said he was that kind of person and wanted to remain faithful to the one he loved. Hee-won was content to focus on her career. Over the 3 years, the Hee family regained its footing, and with only a week left on their contract, NG's first love, Soo-yu, returned. Hee-won had heard the rumors. They were childhood sweethearts. Soo-yu had gone abroad for treatment, and Chu Heng visited her every year. It was time to step aside. The night before the divorce, Chu Heng came home late, got into her bed, and kissed her forehead, calling her wife. Hee-won assumed he was drunk and fled to another room. She texted her lawyer to bring divorce papers the next day. Lying in bed, she cowed in sleep. Over the past 3 years, she had secretly developed feelings for Chu Heng, especially during a trip to an island resort when he had helped her apply sunscreen shirtless. She had wanted him badly, but she had held back because he belonged to someone else. Now that his first love was back, it was time to let go. The next afternoon, her best friend Lin Rong sent messages saying that Chen Yi, Hee-won's former fiancé, was at her club, drunk and crying Hee-won's name. Hee-won printed the divorce papers and went to see him. Chen Yi begged for another chance, even offering to be her lover. She refused. Even if she got divorced, she wouldn't go back to him. She returned to the villa. Chu Heng was there, holding a bouquet of red roses. Hee-won assumed the flowers were rejected by Soo-yu and accepted them with a smile. After her shower, she went to his room with the signed divorce agreement. He opened the door wearing only a bath towel, water droplets sliding down his abs. He called her wife. She handed him the papers. He tore them up, his eyes red, asking why. She said the contract had ended and his first love was back. He looked confused. First love? See, you and I are just friends. She has a boyfriend of 3 years. Just then, Lin Rong texted an explanation. Soo-yu had come to her club with her for unboyfriend and told the truth. The photo of Chu Heng gazing tenderly at Soo-yu had been taken while he was asking her advice on how to pursue Hee-won. The jewelry and trips abroad were all Soo-yu's suggestions to help him win Hee-won's heart. Soo-yu had been busy with her boyfriend and hadn't replied to his frantic messages. As for Chu Heng's secret crush on Hee-won, it started when they were children. He had picked her prized rose, cried while apologizing, and she scolded him. Till later, in college, he had a hypoglycemic episode, and Hee-won gave him a strawberry candy. He recognized her and fell in love, secretly watching her for years. After graduation, he used the marriage alliance as a way to keep her close, and for 3 years, he pretended to be aloof and mature, all on Soo-yu's advice. Hee-won looked at the tearful man before her, then at her phone, and laughed. She asked him if it was all true. He nodded, blushing. She weighed her options and decided staying married suited her. Fine, no divorce, but I don't want to be a widow in my own marriage. He turned bright red and whispered he was a virgin. She pounced, kissing him, and said, Me too. They spent the night together. From then on, Hee-won discovered that the aloof, gentle persona Chu Heng had shown her was all an act. The real him was sensitive, jealous, clingy, and prone to crying at the drop of a hat, burying his face in her arms whenever he felt wronged. Lin Rong shook her head, but He Huan just held him close. After all, this was exactly her type. The female lead Yuan Xiao, ROU, is born with poor sense of direction, face blindness and severe social phobia. She is inherently sensitive and fragile. After her mother committed suicide by jumping off a building in her childhood, she became withdrawn and timid. Her only spiritual pillars are Shenji, her childhood sweetheart, and Su Ning, her best friend, who grew up with her. The two have always protected Yuan Xiao. Her OU like a delicate porcelain doll. Every birthday, they would kiss her cheeks, one on the left and one on the right, as a long-established tradition. Whenever she got lost or hurt, they would fly into a panic, blaming each other fiercely. Yuan Xiao ROU relied on them completely for her whole life. She gained the missing maternal warmth from Sun Ying and firmly believed Shenji was the man she could entrust her life to. As they grew up, Yuan Xiao ROU got engaged to Shenji, yet after the engagement, Shenji became extremely busy, constantly missing important moments such as accompanying her to try on wedding dresses. Zhu Ning was the first to sense something wrong. She suspected Shenji was having an affair and offered to keep an eye on him for Yuan Xiao ROU. A few days later, she told Yuan Xiao ROU with a heavy expression that Shenji was indeed cheating, though she had not found the other woman yet. Simple and slow-witted, Yuan Xiao ROU only thought Zhu Ning suffered from pre-wedding anxiety, laughed it off, and paid no heed to the warning. The wedding was held as scheduled. On their wedding night, Yuan Xiao ROU pushed open the bridal room door full of joy, only to catch Shenji and Zhu Ning entangled intimately on her wedding bed. The bright red wedding character on the wall was glaring, and in the wedding photo on the bedside table, she smiled gently and happily, forming a sharp irony with the indecent scene before her eyes. Afterward, the two dressed calmly. Shenji stroked her hair tenderly without a shred of guilt, proposing that the three spend their lives together and treat the wedding night as their shared bridal night. Su Ning also walked over casually, her body covered with ambiguous bruises. She admitted frankly that she had warned Yuan Xiao ROU long ago. It was Yuan Xiaoru's refusal to believe that forced them to arrange such a surprise for her on the wedding night. Crushed by the shock, Yuan Xiao ROU broke down and questioned their motives. Zhu Ning confessed that they had been together ever since Shenji skipped accompanying her to try wedding dresses after the engagement, indulging in debauchery all day long. Her worldview completely collapsed, and Yuan Xiao ROU slapped Su Ning in rage, smashing the wedding photo. Her fingers were cut by broken glass and blood. Shenji and Zhu Ning instinctively panicked to bandage her wound, bickering and arguing for her as they always did, acting as if the betrayal had never happened. They tried to brainwash Yuan Xiao ROU, claiming it was not betrayal but just a different way of getting along. Shenji would only have her as his legal wife, and Zhu Ning would never compete for the title. They merely wanted to keep their childhood promise of staying together forever. Overwhelmed with physical disgust, Yuan Xiao ROU insisted on packing her luggage to leave. She was relieved that they had not registered their marriage yet and decided to cut off all ties to let them be together. However, the two blocked her firmly, using her timid personality and deep reliance on them to force her to compromise. Amid the dispute, Shenji told Yuan Xiao ROU she was already pregnant, binding her with the child and forcing her to accept their abnormal three-person relationship. Yuan Xiao ROU broke down and fled alone into the street late at night. She was harassed by a drunken hooligan. At the critical moment, Shenji and Zhu Ning rushed over to save her. Extreme fear made her faint on the spot, and she woke up in the hospital. The two still took care of her habitually and quarreled over her, replicating their past owing protection, trying to kidnap her into compromise with their years of friendship. During her hospital stay, Yuan Xiaorao, you even caught them being intimate scrupulously on the accompanying bed next door, completely ignoring her feelings with no sense of propriety or shame. After being discharged, Yuan Xiaorao was forcibly taken back to the wedding house. Severe morning sickness and psychological revulsion made her struggle to breathe. Su Ning simply moved into the guest room next to the master bedroom, openly settling down. She moved all Shenji his personal belongings there and even teased adult supplies casually in front of Yuan Xiao or OU with frivolous words. The two showed affection without any taboo in daily life, treating Yuan Xiao or OU as an accessory to be cherished and shared by both of them. On a thunderstorm night, the thunder outside triggered Yuan Xiaoru's psychological shadow of her mother's suicide. The ambiguous noises from the next room intertwined with the thunder. Completely breaking her mental defense, she rushed out of the house regardless of everything and fled aimlessly in the rain. Unfortunately, she was hit by a car, suffered severe abdominal bleeding, and lost her unborn child forever. The car accident caused severe psychological trauma. Her brain activated an instinctive defense mechanism, and Yuan Xiao or OU selectively lost her memory, sealing all painful memories of betrayal and losing her child. After waking up, she could not recognize Shenji and Zhu Ning at all, with empty and blank eyes, instinctively resisting their closeness and avoiding their touch. The doctor explained that she had no organic brain damage. Her memory might be gradually recovered with opportunities, or sealed forever. Shenji and Zhu Ning took the amnesiac Yuan Xiao or OU back to their luxury apartment. Yet she instinctively rejected the house, stating that the two were more like a couple. Shenji hurriedly took out wedding photos to prove their relationship, but accidentally dropped his phone. Yuan Xiao or OU saw a large number of private intimate photos of him and Zhu Ning. She instantly saw through the truth, publicly calling Shenji a scumbag, and helped Zhu Ning up when Shenji vented his anger and slapped her to the ground. She alienated herself coldly, refusing to get involved in their entanglements anymore, though inherently bad with directions. Yuan Zhao or OU located the house left by her mother by memory, then contacted her father who had been distant for years and went to join him in Canada across the ocean. After arriving, she dropped her disguise completely unconfessed that she had never lost her memory. She only pretended to forget to escape the suffocating three-person relationship. After realizing the truth, Shenji collapsed and went frantic, contacting Yuan Zhao or OU repeatedly to beg for forgiveness, repenting that he was seduced by Zhu Ning and made a foolish mistake in a moment of confusion, unable to live without her. Zhu Ning also finally woke up to reality, seeing that Shenji only pushed all the blame onto her. The two completely fell out and accused each other bitterly. Shenji was drowned in endless regret. He cleaned the wedding house, threw away group photos, and finally realized it was never Yuan Xiao, her OU, who could not leave him. But he had long been dependent on her, left empty and lost without her. With her father's full support, Yuan Xiao or OU resolved to avenge her lost child, hurt rambled friendship and ruin life. Her father deployed resources to suppress the Zhu group and Xian S group recklessly. The Zhu group went bankrupt rapidly, ruining Zhu Ning's family fortune. Her family forced her to marry an elderly wealthy businessman in exchange for betrothal gifts. Unwilling to submit, Zhu Ning attempted suicide several times. Xian S group suffered successive heavy blows including project seizure, capital chain rupture, core employee turnover and confidential leakage, leading to a sharp stock price crash. Eventually, Shenji was ousted by the board of directors, overnight disgraced and reduced to nothing. Shenji humbled himself to kneel in the rain for a long time, begging Yuan Xiao or OU for forgiveness. Zhu Ning also knelt at her door begging for mercy, hoping Yuan Xiao or OU would persuade Shenji to spare her family. Yuan Xiao or OU watched them coldly, exposing their hypocrisy and selfishness. If they truly loved each other, they could have been honest with her instead of deceiving, humiliating and trampling on her with years of friendship as a bargaining chip. Shenji blamed Zhu Ning while asking for forgiveness hypocritically, revealing his inferior nature. She drove them away decisively without any soft-heartedness. Later, Yuan Xiao or OU let go of the past grievances. Zhu Ning fled her hometown to another city. Before leaving, she deliberately met Yuan Xiao or OU, crying and apologizing sincerely. She confessed that she made a foolish mistake out of fear of being neglected and abandoned by the two, deeply regretting ruining their happiness and begging for forgiveness. Though unable to let go of the hurt, Yuan Xiao you thought of their youthful companionship, only bid her take care silently, neither forgiving nor blaming. Nietzsche fell into utter decline and depression. He became paranoid and gloomy, getting into a fight over a trivial matter and being seriously injured in hospital. Later, Yuan Xiao accidentally met the down and out Shenji. He wore the windbreaker she gave him years ago. Thin and limping, staring blankly at her peaceful life with new friends from a distance, too lost and dispirited to step forward. Yuan Xiao finally walked out of the shadow of her childhood trauma, and the double betrayal of friendship and love. She let go of obsessions and pain and headed for a peaceful life of her own. She understood clearly that some people can only accompany you for a part of the journey. No matter how deep the childhood friendship and love are, once tainted by betrayal and selfish desire, there is no turning back. In the end, one must heal and move forward alone in the long journey of life.